Hello, my name is Dave, and I'm a storyteller. And today's life coaching category for my story is mason jars. Actually, it's emotional health and wellness, but I'm going to explain how I used mason jars to help me work on my emotional health and wellness. Actually, I'm going to talk to you about 6 mason jars and a tin bucket. Before I do, just a little bit of background and context. So, in my book, I talked about how I was not getting out of what I call my comfort zone home enough. I wasn't connecting with enough people. And the result was I was pretty much feeling isolated and lonely at times. And I'm a dude. So, as you can see, I'm a dude. We weren't brought up really to deal with our emotions. We kind of pushed those to the side. And when I started, feeling what loneliness feels like, it didn't feel very well. I'll describe that in more detail. That's another story. So I didn't like it. So I decided to do something about it. So I sold my comfort zone home or comfort zone house because I'm in a new home right now. And I came up with a bunch of ideas or ways that I could inspire myself to get out of my comfort zone home more often and connect with more people. And some of them involved mason jars. So I'm going to walk you through those 6 mason jars right now and explain to you kind of where the idea came from, where it's ended up, and how I've been leveraging them. So those of you who are interested in mason jars, some of you refer to me as the Martha Stewart of mason jars. So sorry, Martha, I'm grabbing that one from you. I'm going to walk you through them. For those of you who aren't interested, well, why? So here we go. So the first one, and again, this is a friend of mine about 4 years ago who introduced the idea and the concept to me. So this one was called the key jar. And basically in the key jar, you open it up and there's all kinds of questions in there. You take them one by one. And if you're with somebody, you can bring up this question and you both answer it. So it's a good way to connect, get to know people. So I still use that. I have that in my car. Sometimes I'll go driving and my daughter will say, Dad, do you have the key jar in there? Let's bring it out and get some questions. So that was mason jar number one. So that inspired me to come up with some other ideas. And well, Emily, my daughter Emily, we're going to go on a road trip. Where are we going on a road trip? So we've come up with this road trip bucket list and family date ideas. So what you do basically is you come up with these ideas of how you can, going on a road trip or an idea. And then all of a sudden, if we're thinking, we haven't got together for a while as a family, let's get out of here. And we've got some ideas that go in there. So that was the family bucket list. And I'm thinking, well, if I can use that with my family, why can't I use that with my girlfriend or my soulmate? And when I have one, guess what? I'm going to have some ideas. So this is the romantic date idea jar. So I'm single right now. So I'll start dating. And then once, I start moving along into more of a serious relationship, I will have the soulmate date idea jar. I just have to quickly update that. They probably work for both purposes. Then my daughter, so Emily, she stole the idea from me, and she came up with a gift. So this is my Father's Day gift: 100 reasons why I'm so grateful to have you as my father. And she did one for her mom on Mother's Day. As a matter of fact, I think she did one for her mother before me. So I've got that, and she wrote 100 of them. And on one of my other videos, I actually read some of them out there. Wow, I don't know how long it took her, and they're really well written in the whole bit. So I thought that was a great idea. So, and by the way, these mason jars, some of them, they don't cost a whole lot, right? So and the construction paper I stole from my daughter. So this one I came up with is 100 reasons why I'm so grateful to have you as my daughter, Emily Rose. So I didn't write 100 of them. What I do is I got the pieces of paper, and then when something pops in my mind or we've done something, I'll write them down and then I read them to her and I pop them in there. And I don't want her brother, Shane Patrick, to be, jealous either. So I've got one for him as well. All right. So those are the buckets. But then I'm having so much fun with the mason jars. I wanted to use another one. It's more of kind of a pot than anything else. And I want to get across the concept to my kids that, when you go off on a trip, if you look around the community, the people I'm with, you think that, trips to Florida grow on trees. I want my kids to understand that oranges grow on trees in Florida. Trips to Florida don't. that they cost money. And if you want to go out there and make that kind of money to go on the trips, then you got to make that money. So we came up with what I call the travel pot. So it's $1 a shot. So one of the things is you know, I've got so many ideas and things to do. I can't be sitting around the house cleaning up the dishes after them. So the deal is, once you had your dishes, you clean them up and you put them away. If you don't, you get fined $1 a shot, and it goes into our travel pot. And by the way, I just put $1 in there myself because I didn't do the dishes earlier on. So I'm being honest. So those are the jars, but there's also the idea, I told you about the tin. So that's another story, and I'll share some of the ideas with the tins, but I wanted to at least share the concept with you just to give you an idea. So here it's called Dave's Bucket of Affirmations. So, one of my love languages, for those of you who are familiar with Gary Chapman's 5 love languages, one of mine is words of affection, or as they're commonly known in the workplace, words of affirmation. So I'm calling these Dave's Bucket of Affirmation. That way I can encourage people who are my colleagues, people in the workforce, to give me words of affirmation, as well as other people as well. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to read one. I've got one here that my mom sent me. So it says here, you have the emotional intelligence of a piece of wood. Okay, Mom, the affirmations are supposed to be positive. So I'm going to have to go write down Dave's bucket of positive affirmations, but I appreciate the thought. So there you go. Those are the ideas. If you've got ideas for pots or buckets or anything else like that, let me know. Share them with your friends. Share this video with your friends. I appreciate the inspiration from my friend. You know who you are if you're looking at this, and from my daughter, Emily. So, and all of you. So thank you very much. Have a great day.